Does external success mask the internal struggle for purpose and meaning? Ernest Hemingway, a 20th century writer who was awarded the Nobel Prize in Literature, achievements are undeniable. His works, a cornerstone of modern literature. However, through this exploration, we seek to unravel the complex narrative of Hemingway's life. We will look into the monumental success, figure out what may have caused things to go wrong, and explore what went wrong. At the end of all of this, we will try to answer the question, can the world's accolades ever truly satisfy the human spirit's deep thirst for purpose? Ernest Hemingway, a visionary of the 20th century literature, carved a niche for himself with his distinctive narrative style and profound exploration. His journey to literature stardom began with his groundbreaking publication of The Sun Also Rises. In 1926, a novel that offered a poignant look into the lives of the lost generation. Those who were disillusioned by the devastation of the Great War. Unfortunately, it is now known as World War I. This novel, along with A Farewell to Arms, solidified Hemingway's reputation as a voice of his era, capturing the existential dread that pervaded post-war society. Hemingway's narrative prowess was not confined by the exploration of war and its aftermath. His forays into the realms of love, nature, and human endurance, as seen in For Whom the Bell Tolls, showcases versatility and deep empathy for the human condition. Hemingway's style, marked by its understated nature, reflected his belief in the iceberg theory, the notion that underlying truth of a story should be discernible through what is left unsaid, as much as by the words on the page. Beyond his literary achievements, Hemingway's persona contributed to his mystique and appeal. His adventurous spirit, evidenced by his love for big game hunting, bullfighting, and deep-sea fishing, intertwined with his writing, blurring the lines between the man and the myth. Hemingway's life became the fuel for public fascination, a narrative as compelling as the stories he wrote. The Nobel Prize in Literature was awarded to Hemingway in 1954, was both an acknowledgement of his literature contributions, as well as a testament to his enduring influence on the narrative form. The Old Man and the Sea, praised for its simplicity and depth, exemplified Hemingway's skill in portraying the universal struggles against nature as a metaphor for the human condition. This recognition, however, brought with it the weight of expectation. Hemingway's commercial success and critical acclaim were at odds with his personal struggles. The fame that brought Hemingway into the limelight also isolated him, creating a divide between his public persona and private self. His rough relationships, struggles with substance abuse, and surges of depression were a stark contrast to the stoic, rugged images he projected. Hemingway's life was a testament to the complexity of success. It illuminated the often overlooked truth that external achievements do not necessarily equate to internal peace or fulfillment. As we delve deeper into Hemingway's life, the narrative shifts from his meteoric rise to the factors that contributed to his decline. The life and literary journey of Ernest Hemingway offers a profound backdrop for exploring the principles of existential psychology, a field that delves into the human quest for meaning amidst an inherent absurdity and often indifferent universe. This branch of psychology, with its roots in existential philosophy of Kierkegaard, Nietzsche, and Sartre, theorized that individuals are constantly in search of purpose, striving to make sense of their existence despite the lack of inherent meaning in the world. Hemingway's body of work, as well as the narratives of his life, encapsulate the existential dilemma, the struggles to find authenticity and purpose in the reality, marked by uncertainty and strife. His characters often face life-altering decisions, existential cries, and relentless march of time, echoing Hemingway's own confrontations with these universal themes. Through his writing, Hemingway grapples with the notion of mortality, freedom, and isolation, and the desire for meaning, all centrally tenets of existential psychology. This psychological perspective illuminates Hemingway's personal journey, as well as despite achieving unparalleled success and recognition, his wrestle with the profound feeling of despair. Existential psychology suggests that feelings can arise from the realization that external achievements such as fame and wealth do not fulfill the deeper need for the individual. For Hemingway, the accolades and recognition, while gratifying, could not shake the existential void, the sense of angst that rise from confronting the fundamental question of existence. Moreover, existential psychology underscores the concept of authentic existence, living in accordance with one's true self and values. Despite societal pressures to conform, Hemingway's relentless pursuit in life that mirrored his ideals often led with expectations of literature and social circles of his times, reflects this search for authenticity. Yet the very act of seeking authenticity in an unauthentic world can be the source of existential distress, contributing to the sense of isolation and disconnection Hemingway experienced. The application of existential psychology, though, to Hemingway's life and works offer a lens through which to understand his enduring quest for meaning. It suggests that true fulfillment stems not from the external validation, but from the individual's engagement with realities of their own existence. Their capacity to face the void with courage, to find meaning in the act of living itself, and to embrace the freedom that comes with making authentic choices. Hemingway's legacy, viewed through the prism of existential psychology, becomes a narrative not just of literary triumph, but of the human condition, intricate dance with meaning and purpose, as well as the search for an authentic self. Ernest Hemingway's final years unfolded as a somber tale to life that had blazed with genius and daring adventures. This period, characterized by the slow unraveling of both mind and body, starkly contrasts the robust vitality that defined Hemingway's youth and middle years. The decline of this iconic figure was not a singular event, but a gradual descent, marked by the confluence of personal and professional health-related challenges that dimmed the bright flame of the once 20th century's most celebrated writer. Physically, Hemingway's adventurous lifestyle, once the source of inspiration for his writing, took its toll. Chronic pain and a series of concussions led to deteriorating health, which Hemingway sought to numb with alcohol, a decision that only increased his physical and mental decline. The invincible persona of Hemingway had cultivated was crumbling, revealing the vulnerability of a man struggling against the tide of physical limitation. Professionally, the latter part of Hemingway's career was fraught with pressures to replicate his early success. The literary world, ever fickle and evolving, seemed to move forward as Hemingway grappled with the shadows of his past achievement. His later works, while still reflective of his undeniable talent, were often critiqued through comparison to his own literary masterpieces. This struggle to live up to his legacy, combined with the changing culture landscape that no longer resonated with the themes as strongly, led to a period of doubt and creative stagnation. The very act of writing, once Hemingway's refuge, became a battlefield, pitting him against his critics, his fans, and most poignantly, himself. On the personal front, Hemingway's life was a tapestry of rough relationships and deep-seated loneliness. The disintegration of his marriage, strained family ties, and gradual alienation from close friends painted a picture of a man increasingly isolated in his own world. This isolation was compounded by Hemingway's internal battle with his identity and self-worth, as he struggled to reconcile the public perception of him as a paragon of masculinity with his own feelings of inadequacy as well as despair. The mental toll of these compounded stress was profound. Hemingway's final years were marred by the paranoia, desperation, and sense of persecution, exasperated by the actual surveillance by the FBI, which he believed was monitoring him for his connections to Cuba and socialist figures. This paranoia was not entirely unfounded, but served to deepen his isolation and fuel his decline. His mental health issues, once whispered about, became glaringly public, accumulating in the treatments that were as debilitating as the condition they sought to cure. Hemingway's tragic end, a self-inflicted gunshot in the early morning hours at his Idaho home, was a stark final to a life that had been lived in the pursuit of beauty, truth, and adventure. It underscores the fragile balance between genius and madness, between the public facade of success and the private reality of suffering. Hemingway's decline and subsequent death reminded us of human behind the legend, a man who, despite his monumental achievements, were not immune to the trials that afflicted the human spirit in search of meaning and purpose. Ernest Hemingway's life, a blend of unparalleled literary success and profound personal struggles, embodies the paradox that external achievements do not necessarily equate to internal fulfillment. His narrative, from the heights of Nobel Prize winning to the depths of personal despair, challenged the conventional marks of success, urging us to look beyond the surface. As we reflect on Hemingway's life, we ponder the nature of success and the paths to genuine contentment. For more reflection, consider checking out the Fundamentals of Meaning and Purpose playlist.